When the British Army goes to war, first in the field are the sergeants. To earn their stripes, this elite must survive the infantry's toughest course. This is the story of that course. Tonight on Battle Stripes.
Look at me now!
Crisis as Vern Stokes leads 2 sections' first nighttime battle.
Well, this had better improve pretty soon, or I'm going to kill off the platoon commander and the platoon sergeant.
And Steve Tickle faces another injury scare. It's a weekend break for the soldiers on the platoon sergeant's battle course. For 2 sections Vern Stokes, there's a chance to catch up with the family.
The course is quite a long course, and it gets a bit tedious being away from home all the time. But when you're on a course like this, it's hard work. You live for your weekends, and when you do get home eventually at the weekends, you're shattered from the week. You've had minimum sleep during the week, and basically it's just a case of sleeping all weekend, and it gets a bit frustrating on the family as well, you know. My family's actually got used to it now, the fact that, you know, I go away quite frequently, and they're all quite supportive, so, you know, they know what it's all about. And I try not to take work home with me, so you just try and be as normal as you can over the weekends, you know, and try to get back to normality. When you're refreshed on a Sunday morning, it's time to get back into the car and go back to camp.
Right, give it to me, Charles.
Dad, can I get my cap and jacket wet?
As the weekend draws to a close, Chelsea returns to boarding school. Vern Stokes heads back to Brecon for week 4 of the course.
The course is a stepping stone for greater things, to be honest. Everybody on this course wants to do well in it, because it's a final sort of like combat course we need to do in our careers. A good pass in this course just lays the stepping stones in for a good healthy career for the rest of your career. You know, so basically everybody's in the same position, we're all fighting for a few positions in the army to get platoon sergeant posting. That's why we're all doing it. It's our own motivation that's brought us here, and we all need to do well on the course.
Ahead at the instructor's HQ, Coast Commander Major Ken Hames prepares for visitors. A Hungarian general has arrived to observe the course.
I mean, these visits that we have here from various European countries, Hungarians, Poles, Czechs, are very important for Partnership for Peace throughout the whole of Europe. I'm the officer commanding the senior tactics company.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ah, das ist, ja. Möchten Sie einen Kaffee oder Tee oder?
Kaffee, Tee, Keru, ich glaube.
Ja? Ja. Tee oder?
Tee.
Tee?
Tee.
So,
Kaffee.
Ja. Kommen Sie mit, ja.
Major Hames leads the international delegation for its first taste of British Army tea. For the staff back at camp, it's just another Monday morning.
I work for the British Army as a physiotherapist at the Infantry Training Centre in Brecon. Every day is totally unpredictable. We tend to see people who come from the courses who have obviously sustained injuries. Most of the injuries we tend to see are shoulders, backs, hips, knees and ankles. But we tend to have to see and assess as to whether they need treatment, just straightforward physiotherapy treatment, or they need to be referred on for further investigation. These guys are very fit guys, but they still sustain injuries because of the terrain and the nature of the work that they have to do.
Out on the ground, 2 sections are put through their paces for the Hungarian general.
By doing the rehearsals here, when we do the operation tonight, black, lots of ammunition, with a live enemy attacking us, it's all got to run this smoothly. And it's worth having my colour sergeant there, going through to pick up any of the points that they're getting wrong, so that prior to them getting issued their appointments, they've had this opportunity to see how we expect it to work.
You've got the casualties with you, you're the protection, head back in that direction.
I think they're also very impressed with the standard of the instructors that work here. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You know, all our instructors and the soldiers, for that matter, are extremely good communicators, and they're all prepared to stand up and say what they think.
Do you work in teams or as an individual? Teamwork.
Teamwork, yes.
You have to do teamwork to get through this course.
So, one for the all and all for the one.
Yes.
What is your regiment?
I'm a Welsh Guardsman.
Kul för de soldater Marvolt.
Have you been abroad?
Kenya,
On a deployment?
Kenya, Belize, Northern Ireland.
Igen, schön.
And you?
Bosnia.
Bosnia.
Bosnia, ja.
Northern Ireland.
S for I for continent.
Yes,
Yes.
Soldat. Have you got family?
Family?
Yeah.
Jutland?
Family, 2 children.
Yes.
One child.
Age. No.
Yeah, 2 kids.
Két.
Hát én nagyon szépen köszönöm, nagyon sok sikert kívánok Önöknek a további végrehajtáshoz.
Thank you very much. We wish you lots of success in the future. Please keep your good humor for the future and smile, because the life is easier when you smile.
So teamwork.
And after the course.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Two sections' diplomatic duties are over.
What was the other one?
I'm not surprised at the injury rate, because if you see what they have to carry, the terrain over which they have to march, it's quite incredible that there are not more injuries. These guys are very tired. They have very little sleep during the weeks that they're here, and I think they cope remarkably well.
Early in the course, Steve Tickle failed a fitness test because of a back injury.
Take Tops, if I can have a look at your back and your neck, just to make sure that... Okay, turn around for me. Right. Abdul, how's your back been?
It's been a lot better.
Okay, just take a seat.
But this time it's a different problem.
Can't remember what you did.
No, I think it was just, obviously I was diving up and down off the floor a lot, so
Just pushing up
Just
and down
pushing,
against
yeah.
resistance,
Yeah.
right, okay.
that's sore there.
What I'm going to do is give you some ultrasound on that, which will help the healing process. Keep the splint on, especially if you're going to do anything. Try to avoid any resistance work.
Yeah.
That's, try to avoid pushing up from the floor or anything like that. But as I say, anything else, then avoid.
Right.
Right?
Well, I was seeing the doctor. Basically, there's fluid got in all the ligaments and that's why it's all grinding, and it's really painful. It won't get any better unless you have either in a cast or complete rest for a couple of weeks. I'm hanging on just.
Where are you going now?
I've got to go and see the sergeant major so he knows what's happening. Just to let him know what the doctor said to me, really.
That's all tickle. So what's happened?
I've had it 6 days now. It's really painful, but he's put a brace on for me. So.
Your back's all right then?
Yeah, my back's fine today, yeah.
Well, how's this come about?
Just, I don't know, so just getting up and down, breaking cover, taking cover.
Right.
Just general, so.
You're in and out of there like a yo-yo.
I know, sir.
Yeah? Okay, try not to injure yourself anymore.
Get down carefully, sir.
Yeah. Well, you're costing the taxpayer a lot of money.
Sir.
Wait with the CQMS.
Sir.
All right?
Sir.
I think he needs to reinsure himself.
If he's got any wind of how he's doing outside his own beliefs, if he thinks he's doing particularly well now, then he may well push it a bit longer to see if he can actually get through them, pick himself up. Because what happens is, weak students because he can see. And I've already investigated him already before he even got back in this camp through his DS on the ground. And the fact is, he's not doing well on this course. And the chances are, he'll give it a few more days. If he's been persuaded that he's not too bad and he can get on with it, he'll leave it a few more days and then he'll go, well, no, I really can't. And it'll be RTU'd. And it'll be a waste, and another X amount of thousands of pounds wasted when we could have had another student here.
I'm confused with this guy. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've never seen anybody in and out of this camp so many times, with various ailments. you know, the whole time I've been here. So I don't know what quite to make of it, really.
I don't know what they thought, but I feel like I've not been given a fair crack at the whip yet. With one thing after another. I mean, so they're going to paint their own picture, and they probably think that I'm fucking some sort of sickie who's not really up for it. I'm sure anyone who knows me knows that's a load of bollocks.
Back on the training area, Steve Tickle reports to instructor Captain Ramsey.
The second that this starts to border onto becoming a serious ailment, I don't care what you want or say, I will send you back. The doctor's advice has been, don't come out. That's his medical opinion.
Yes.
You've got to consider, I admire the ability to come out here and crack on with it. The primary concern is ensuring that you don't sustain an injury sufficient to A, going off the course, or B, once off the course, not being fit enough to be able to reattend instantly the next one.
Yes, sir.
But if you're sure in your mind
Yes.
that it's not going to affect anything, then that's fine.
Sure.
All right? But I want to be kept aware of the situation.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Coming up, disaster for 2 sections.
This had better improve pretty soon.
As Vern Stokes gets lost in the dark.
Hey, pass him fucking down! One of the trained medics. All right, and they'll go and patch you up, and you'll be safe and sound and no date.
Tonight is Vern Stokes' first major test. He has been appointed platoon sergeant. With the platoon commander, he will lead 30 men in a night attack.
As you can. Remember, you're going to war now, and you're going to kill people.
While Vern Stokes prepares for night exercises, his daughter Chelsea settles into a new school.
At the start of the course, Chelsea, my daughter, started boarding school, and it was the first term, it was the first day away from home. I was just keep thinking about her, you know, how she was getting on, and I was worried, you know, that she weren't going to fit in, and I was worried for my wife as well, because, you know, she'd been missing and all that sort of thing. So I was slightly sidetracked that first week that Chelsea went to school.
Well, I reckon that Daddy is working very hard to move up from the costume guards. So he has to work outside day and night and goes to bed, I think, at 10 o'clock. Because he has to climb all these mountains and that. And he gets very wet and dirty, covered in mud.
The reason why Chelsea went to boarding school is because we move around a lot. We've had 6 houses in the same amount of years. So that means Chelsea and Mikey, my lad as well, move school quite often, and it's not very good for them, it's upsetting for them. So the ideal solution was to find a good school, which we did, and send Chelsea there so she can get a good, stable education.
All right, look at me. You're now going to receive a set of orders off the platoon commander for a fighting patrol, which is tonight's activities. Throughout the orders...
Well, I think my dad might just be working with these soldiers for the money for me to go to school. And also, I don't know if he's going to move up a job, but I reckon he will.
But if he's to stay on course for promotion, Vern Stokes must do well on tonight's difficult night exercise.
My command appointment, the first one I did, the platoon sergeant one, it started off quite well. You know, in the harbour area, I give my service support on the orders, and that went well. And I got a bit of praise of the instructor for that.
Any more 2 section?
And it started going downhill from them, because myself included as well, you know, we weren't quite as switched on as what we should have been.
Come on, guys.
I'm now stood at a place called Black Hut on the training area, and I'm waiting for the platoon to arrive. What they're doing tonight is a night fighting patrol. When they get here, they've got to get off the trucks, get themselves organised, and then got to navigate for about 2 kilometres across country. Now, the country they're going to cross is very boggy. There's lots of streams to cross. It's very difficult going underfoot, and particularly tonight because there's no moon and there's not much light to aid them. Sergeant Stokes tonight, who's the platoon sergeant, has got a very important job. He's got to bring up the rear, and he's got to make sure that the platoon stays together. Well, the worst thing that can happen is that they get lost. Then we'll have a period of time while they sort out their geographical embarrassment. That's about the worst thing that can happen. The second worst thing that can happen is I can fall into a bog. And about the third worst thing that can happen is they don't find the enemy at all, and we're wandering around for most of the night looking for them.
Basically, what I was worried about was platoon commander getting lost. You know, because I'm the Czech navigator, but because I'm at the back, 30 people behind, and at night time that can be anything up to, you know, 400 metres away from him at the front. If he gets lost, by the time you get up to the front, you know, he might be off at a tangent, going in a totally wrong direction. So I was a bit concerned about that. And at one stage, I think he did get a little bit disorientated.
It's on Stokes. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Where's the platoon commander's route?
He's going to go in that direction, sir.
It's going to go in that direction. What direction is that? Don't you know the bearing off the top of your head?
Lost my sheep.
Hey?
No,
You don't know the bearing?
No, sir. It's on my compass.
Lost my sheep.
So where's he going over there?
Heading for the re-entrant.
Heading for the re-entrant? Which re-entrant?
The re-entrant's going to lead him all the way in, so it comes in.
Just as Verne feared, the platoon commander has lost his way. Things are not going well.
Come on, Gas, get up there.
Well, this has been a complete disaster so far. The platoon as a whole is clearly responsible for its navigation. The platoon commander and the platoon sergeant really didn't know what each other was doing. Consequently, the platoon got split up over about 600 metres. Platoon commander also chose the most obvious point, that is a bridge, as a place to bring his platoon together, which the enemy would have used as a killing area. Well, this had better improve pretty soon, or I'm going to kill off the platoon commander and the platoon sergeant and get somebody else to do it. We're not even in a position to attack yet. It's now 12:15, and it looks like being a long night. What really bugs me is the crap navigation. Atrocious navigation. I've seen people on the Duke of Edinburgh's award do better.
From his position at the back, Verne Stokes learns that the platoon commander has led his men straight into enemy fire.
Two section!
The platoon commander took the fire support away, and he must have been seen by the enemy, and he got compromised. They got bumped. Part of the job is anticipate taking over the patrol.
What's happened now is Sergeant Stokes with the rest of the platoon are trying to catch up to regain the initiative now. But clearly in real life they'd be in big trouble here. They would have taken a lot of casualties because of their poor navigation and the use of the ground.
Hey! Pass him fucking down!
As chaos reigns, the instructors decide to kill off the platoon commander and put Verne Stokes in sole command.
Your ball game now, Sergeant Stokes. Forget the platoon commander.
Two section! Two section!
But can he get things back on track?
Sergeant Hayter! Sergeant Hayter, look at me now! Look at me! I want fire support going down the left-hand position and the right-hand position in the BMP now.
I hadn't really listened to all his orders, so I wasn't fully coherent with the plan. So when he got bumped, all of a sudden I had a million and one things rushing through my head. I actually thought to myself, oh no, I can't remember his plan. I wasn't listening to what he was saying. It was a bit of a turning point for the course, that, because I had a really good start to the course. And then from then on, because it wasn't as good as I expected to get a pass, it was hard work for me. It just wasn't what I expected, and I was pretty disappointed with it as well.
I will let you go forward on the net. Do you understand? Break them down! Break them down! Go forward! Take it out!
Sergeant Stokes, look what's engaging you from deck. Watch. Yeah, what's that?
BMP.
Well, let's fucking get
Please,
the
Alpha.
out this.
Roger, that BMP is still engaging. It's still engaging. Make sure you've destroyed it, over.
An enemy machine gun is creating chaos.
Stokes, if you switch fire right onto the BMP, you're going to be firing at your own blokes, aren't you?
Sergeant Stokes was trying there to take control of the battle. Unfortunately, he was a good 200 metres away from the enemy positions. He hadn't really identified where they were. The section commanders were not really taking control either, and the whole thing's really turned into a bag of worms.
Yeah, come on, we got to get him casualty. Where's the casualty? He's only going over there. He's here. Get him dragged back on the axis. You're going to be heading back to the FRB. Leave the medics to deal with him. You go back, you lead the way. Make sure you get the canisters with you. You're the protection. Head back in that direction. No, there's no depth. We're withdrawing now.
One section! Right, the remainder of the two...
The instructors have seen enough.
Stop! Closing!
Okay, right, get in your normal hollow square, be quiet, listening to Captain Ramsey for a couple of minutes.
For once in my life, I'm at a loss for fucking words. That was disgraceful. From start to finish. The personal skills went out the window the second we left the wagon. Did a TA course here on exactly the same thing. And to tell you the truth, I'd rather be soldiering with them now.
The exercise has been a disaster. If Vern Stokes has failed, he will find it difficult to pass the course.
Sergeant Stokes, you passed that appointment, which may be a bit of a surprise to you, to be perfectly honest. All right? And the first thing I want to make clear is that you only just passed it. Okay? The reasons you passed it is, first of all, your administration and your preparation before you went on the patrol. All right? I thought that was very good, and that went a good way to your passing the appointment. You must be aware at all times of exactly where you are, to within 100 metres. Your personal skills, all right, during the assault, your personal skills were of a poor standard. All right, they're not of the standard that I expect from a platoon sergeant. All right, you're a big guy, all right, you've got a decent voice, you come across as a confident bloke, yeah, so impose that on a given situation. All right, you must take charge and you must show people you're in charge. All right?
I'm a bit pissed off actually because the blokes just don't work. You know, you work your guts out for everybody else, and it just so happens that when I was in appointment there, the blokes didn't work, and that's, well, it's not all down to the blokes, like, but it's just pissed me off a little bit, to be honest. As, you know, I expect to do a lot better than that. I don't expect just a pass. I expect a good pass.
Next week on Battle Stripes, 2 Section get their first taste of the big guns. And Chris Scarvey gets caught in an ambush.
Get in there with that infantry now! Roger, we have now just been encountered by enemy.